Welcome to Inside the Squared Circle for Wrestling Talk. I'm Top Rope Bubba.
And I'm Behold Greatness. And boy, have we got a good one for you.
But, want to start off first. I would like to take a moment of silence for Mark Izzard. Hopefully I didn't butcher the last name. Sorry if I did. It was a wrestling fan from the United Kingdom who was trying to live his dream at WrestleMania and unfortunately
never made it to WrestleMania, tragically.
So I would like to take a quick moment of silence. Alrighty. Prayers to his family. And,
hopefully they get him back home and give him a proper burial. There's a great GoFundMe going on right now. Check it out.
So before we get started, I want to start this off. We got a little bit to talk about here. We had some major releases.
A lot. I think you have some really upset fans right now.
Yeah.
Including you.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure how to take the Kairi Sane thing, because I've heard different things.
I think she is in Japan right now.
Well, I feel that, yes.
She said she still loves wrestling, so I think she'll continue wrestling. And maybe she just wants to be back home with her family.
So do you think Kairi just asked for a release to go back to Japan?
Her contract was up.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
So I do not... She can show up anywhere at any time without waiting.
So, hear me out. This is where I'm going to get to this. So, obviously, I'm very upset, mad that Kairi got released. One, because she was in a deep battle of a good storyline with Asuka and Io and them people. Like, I don't know why you just cut her out like that real quick. At least have a payoff for that storyline. If you knew this was going to happen, then you X her off TV that week or whatever. But I'm going to take a small gamble here. I believe, and I hope, they're going to bring her back at Backlash. But it's going to be for her to turn face and cost Asuka the match against Io.
I'd love to see it.
I think she's going to kind of pull R-Truth, come out of the fans.
Yeah.
Maybe not with the black hoodie, but something to that nature. Obviously, the next thing, we had My Wife 6. That
every member is gone.
Got released. I kind of predicted this through the last few videos, kind of, because they weren't using them. And I did see, I guess, a cryptic tweet, per se, with Dutch and Vincent.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to show up on TNA TV.
Please do.
Maybe they asked for a release, or maybe WWE gave them a release so they could go somewhere else with... Maybe they already had a deal in place with TNA since they have a working relationship. They have bigger plans for them because obviously TKO didn't understand how to use them.
Well, I guess AI doesn't really understand how to use that.
Correct.
So.
I'm glad you said that because obviously that came out of the woodwork too, along with a Triple H contract extension when the guy is not even being head of creative. But yeah, we're going to give him a contract extension for head of creative.
How much are we paying the board members of TK? Did you see that money being spilled out, but yet we can't afford superstars?
I'm glad you brought that up. I don't want to get heated, but yeah, it's pretty frustrating. Then obviously one of the other big releases was Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. That one was definitely out of left field, especially when you were going to put Aleister Black in Pat McAfee's spot with Randy Orton, and now he's all of a sudden released.
Then you got rid of Season 1 LFG winner.
Right.
And the people are like, what's the point of LFG if you're just going to release the winner?
Correct.
So, it's not looking real good right now.
Yeah. I did see some of the AEW people already have said, new don't want Aleister Black back, so I don't know what has transpired there or whatever. So I guess we'll see where they pop up.
I think it's going to be really interesting. I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised. These people will land on their feet like a Zoe Stark and stuff. They got to wait their 90 days.
I think Zoe's headed to AEW. That one I do think.
I do believe there's more releases to come. There's been some cryptic talk. I expect Johnny Gargano and Candice to be next.
It's kind of a given.
There's definitely some others. Obviously, you saw Santos Escobar. CMLL is heavy on him. They were in negotiation before he came back anyway. So he'll land on his feet. You want to see all these wrestlers go somewhere and be used.
Yeah.
You don't want anybody to be out of a job.
So, all right, to start breaking down the past week of wrestling, SmackDown started off with Jacob Fatu. And dude, the way they're using Jacob and his character right now is fantastic.
He's a bad man.
He definitely seems like a powerhouse against Roman as of right now. So I feel like that match is going to be great. Obviously, the Usos came out again saying that, he's not ready to face the tribal chief.
Yeah, okay.
And then, of course, you had Solo's MFTs get involved, which I'm sure I'm with a lot of other people. We're tired of the MFTs.
Talking about we haven't seen Hikuleo.
You mean Talatunga?
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't seen him.
Yeah.
Where's he at? Did he get quietly released as well? I got lots of questions.
Quite possible.
And how does Tama Tonga survive these releases?
How does a lot of these people continue?
I have got lots of questions.
Yeah. We're having malfunction.
Technical difficulty. But we can roll right along.
There we go.
So there was a nice little thing there at the beginning. And we'll kind of get back into... There's that rivalry between the family there still. And basically, Jacob's just not having it. And he's saying he wants what Roman has, and he wants it now, and he's not waiting.
So speaking of this, did Jacob pull out a new submission?
I don't know if it's new, but it's new to him.
All right. Yeah. So, by the way, I'd like to stop this segment. We did forget one little minor thing. We would like you to please comment,
like, subscribe, and hit the ringy dingy. Anytime we post new content, you'll get notified.
Thank you. All right, moving on. We had a United States Championship match, didn't we?
For the women, which was long overdue. And I hate to say it, Julia, Tiffany, put on a good match. Capable of obviously way more when given more time. Should have been done at WrestleMania if we're having this argument. And guess what? Tiffy Time is our new champ.
Yeah, so again, this is a title that I feel like isn't that relevant. Unfortunately, it could be, and I hope Tiffy Time makes this that relevant. Because we do have some new flavor.
We do.
In wrestling right now with all these NXT call-ups. A bunch of women coming up, which we will get into a little more here. But yes, I'm happy for a little bit of a change. But on that, do you think this is where Kiana kind of turns on Julia because she lost the title?
Eventually, yeah. And it should, unless they're staying committed to the women's tag division, and then you don't. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
All right. I feel like this next part of SmackDown, one of the parts... oh, God.
You've been cast.
Oh, no! Danhausen is...
Oh, yeah.
Like... he's making money right now, dude.
He's printing money for WWE.
Showing up at the Miz's house. Miz opens the door and Danhausen's nowhere to be found. He turns around, Danhausen's in the house. And then at one point he's in his swimming pool in his little floaty, and then the Miz tries to cocoa powder was it or some kind of powder, throw it on Danhausen and ends up hitting Maurice. I'm very intrigued where this is really going to go. Now, obviously, the Miz is, as you like to say, one of these people that always just, take the dirt and make it great.
He does. And let's be honest, he has always been great at elevating others. Makes them look better always.
And Danhausen was, I want to say, 3 or 4 in merch sales at WrestleMania. So,
and for the man to be there at that number and not have had a match is pretty freaking awesome.
Right. Well, John Cena did help that segment a little bit.
John Cena.
He is, by the way, supposed to be doing something at Backlash. So, anyway.
Huh.
All right. We had our wonderful women's tag team champion holders come out.
This was interesting because Brie Bella and Paige are always a welcome sight in WWE right now, which is nice. But then we have them talking about it being their house, and then lo and behold, you got Charlotte and Alexa, and Alexa said the dark side of her is retired.
Yep, you brought it up before yes. Again, that gear at WrestleMania was fire, top notch. I hope they make a figure. 2K, I hope you're on it too. Yes, but anyway.
But yeah, so they have a match. They want a match. They got one. Yeah. It ends in DQ.
Yeah, we have a match that ends in DQ, but why does it end in DQ? Who appears? It wasn't Joe Hendry.
No. So we have the arrival of Fatal Influence to the most epic Boo Birds I've heard in a while.
Wait. So you mean they didn't just bring JC Jane up? They brought the
entire
other two.
Group up, which we talked about being a possibility.
Okay, we've hit on this one.
We have, and you know what?
But to touch on your Boo Birds, yes, JC got heel heat.
She had that go away heel heat that Dom had for a while, and we see how that translated. That is important to be able to do. And listen, if they're going to do that, I'm here for it because JC is exactly what that division needs at right now, and I'm here for it.
Facts. So yeah, like he said, just kind of pinpoint, Fatal Influence showed up and kind of wrecked everybody. And
so they're getting into that mix.
Made their
presence felt
known, and I kind of feel like we kind of talked about this last year at some point. I remember vaguely. I think we're starting to get some women's stables here. Some trios.
I want to be clear when I say this. This is the first time that I have ever recalled this happening on the main roster. We'll have to fact check it at some point. But for as long as I've been watching, I have never seen an all-women's group make their debut on the main roster.
Yeah, because Damage Control was pretty much already up, so
yeah,
that don't really count.
And Damage Control was a different beast in this. That was like a force together in the moment. This is a cultured, homegrown group brought up from NXT, and they've never done that.
No.
They might have been able to do it with Toxic Attraction at one time, but they missed that boat.
Yeah, for real. All right, then another part on SmackDown, Cody decides to come out and talk about his wonderful gold attire that he did at WrestleMania, along with his, I feel, was a really good entrance. Then he kind of calls out Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
He's looking for a fight.
Yeah. Who would you think could possibly answer said fight?
I think we're going to have an answer very soon from somebody who hasn't been around for a while.
Oh, okay. I was
I think we're overdue for somebody to make a return.
all right. I was thinking more like the new debut next week of Mr. Ricky Saints.
That would be nice.
I did. I spoiled it here, folks.
Yeah.
Well, not really spoiled because it's already out. But
Which,
Ricky Saints is coming. The Revolution.
Yeah, we'll touch on that more later. But let's roll over to next. We got Truth and Damian Priest versus MFTs. And then we get a Ricky Saints vignette, which you alluded to. He's coming.
Yep.
And then...
Did Truth and Priest retain the titles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously...
but then it kind of rolled over into Solo versus Jacob.
Yeah.
And then the MFTs attack
Jacob.
Why?
I feel like, so the whole bloodline thing is kind of getting muddled here because you have Jacob kind of, the Usos want Jacob to come back, and Solo, I feel like, wants Jacob to come back. I gonna make a bold prediction here. Jacob's gonna stay on his own. I feel. It's finally time to insert Zilla Fatu.
We've been saying this for months. This has been
Here.
the one thing that's plaguing us.
Is now, as we were talking about stables, we could build 3 bloodline stables. I said 3 bloodline. Could you imagine a 3-team Survivor Series War Games? That would be insane.
Why don't you just do a ladder match for multiple Ula follows?
A multiple little follow.
Jesus.
Louise.
All right.
By the way, speaking of which, kind of a little off topic. I see you're wearing a Phillies jacket. Yeah. But anyway.
They're having a rough time, but my Flyers got that big W.
All right, we got Raw. We had Mr. Seth freaking Rollins starting off Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And he called out, of course, the guy he's been feuding with. The guy that has 8 staples in the back of his head? I guess, I assume.
And a concussion.
And, yeah, well. And, as Seth Rollins says, AP Brain.
Basically, this is setting up what we all know.
But, I will say, Braun Breaker did do an excellent job during this segment. I felt like it was very well put together. So I am looking forward to their match at Backlash for sure.
Yeah, I really hope he does some Steiner math before it, but anyway.
He has a pea brain. How can he do Steiner math?
Trust me, if you know anything about Steiner math, you don't need much of a brain. Penta versus Rusev. Penta wins. Ta-da. Rolling right along. El Grande Americano talks about the mask versus mask.
That's it.
Coming up.
Yeah.
And then he challenged Rey Mysterio as a warm-up. The greatest luchador of all time.
He's crazy. Why would you challenge Rey?
Unreal.
We also had the Judgment Day that decided to attack Stephanie Valkyrie backstage.
We knew this was coming. You know it's part of the ordeal.
Also, on top of that, does Roxanne trust Liv?
No, I think she trusts Finny Boy, and we saw the crack sprinkled there.
Ooh, buddy.
So we'll see. But boy, did she get an ovation in Laredo.
Yeah, yes, she did. By the way, she does look mighty fine.
She does.
So,
She can pop my rocks. Anyway.
We had the man has come back around, come out, and she decides to do an open challenge.
Which is a bad decision on Becky.
And
who answered?
I want to say the Genius of the Sky.
Yep.
Yeah, Sky. Yeah, it didn't end well.
No. Ended up, simply enough, Becky gets a W by hook or crook.
That's always. But did you notice? Jessica was not the referee.
She was not.
It was the new girl.
I do believe this is leading to something down the line.
It has to.
But moving on, we got a Joe Hendry concert. On Raw.
You mean the guy can sing?
I've been believing since day one. We believe.
I really liked his lyrics. What do you remember what he was singing about?
I don't. I'll be honest. I'm just
Oh,
laughing too
man.
much.
All right. Well, I'll help you out here. He was singing about Logan Paul
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
and how Logan Paul needs to go bye-bye. So,
I'm not sure how wise that is for that to be his first feud, but
so
okay.
obviously we're setting up Logan Paul and Joe Hendry at some point.
We had El Grande Americano versus Rey. Sneaky good match.
It was very good.
Rey Mysterio won.
Obviously.
Oba versus the Thunder from Down Under.
Well, so do we send an Australian out there
To get destroyed by a Nigerian.
Is he now a jobber at this point? A full-on jobber?
He might be because he got his arse whooped.
But on top of this, we now have a weekly Oba Open Challenge. Do we have any surprise suspects in this Open Challenge at some point?
I think eventually, I think it starts off pretty tame.
Well, obviously, you gotta build it up.
It's definitely going to have some surprises, though.
Do we get a Brock? No. Okay. Do we get a Gunther?
Eventually.
Okay. What if?
Because that rivalry is going to happen.
What if this is crazy? I don't know if it's really ever been done. What if we have a champion take the Open Challenge?
You could. I don't know where that real benefit is. Because that's dangerous on both parties.
It's true.
I
Well,
think,
maybe this is where you take Oba and Roman around SummerSlam.
But I do think you get a returning Sheamus versus him at some point.
Ah, yep. You know what?
Yeah.
You might have hit on it.
And I think that's a good stepping stone and good start.
By the way, we had a women's tag team match. We had our girl Bailey and Lyra. Woo! Versus Pop Rocks and Raquel.
And it was, I hate to say this, but a pretty easy win for Judgment Day. I think Bailey's on the chopping block as well, unfortunately. I think we're going to see her get released, and it breaks my heart.
That might be a segment for me to go off on, but that'll be.
I think if they make that mistake, I think it will be Sasha Banks level mistake, and she's going to have the Brinks truck backed up to her. Because if you let her go to AEW, oh my goodness,
it's not pretty. I mean, you're bringing up some women to replace some of these people, but it's Bailey's one of those. No matter if she's in the title picture, whether she has a title, whether she's really wrestling, she's one of those people that just her being around wrestling and involved somehow is good for WWE, good for the business.
Yeah.
She helps put people over. She's helped Lyra, I feel, immensely.
Lyra is way better because of her.
So, I would hope. I don't have much faith in TKO. I don't. So, I'm going to put faith in Triple H. Somehow. I would hope Triple H is smart enough to know that Bailey gets away. It's not good.
Very bad.
So
moving on, we got Sol Ruka officially debuting on Raw next week.
Woo! Obviously she had that said match against it flew out of my mind the week before.
She what, officially signs the contract?
Yes. But who did she fight?
Well, she had that little spat with Liv.
Thank you. Yep, you're right.
Yep.
And they had a match though. It
Yeah.
was pretty good. So and then obviously her and the Zarya match that they had the week before on
NXT was outstanding.
fire. And then we're kind of gonna be getting into NXT here in a minute, but the kind of the Zarya, what do you want to call it? I wouldn't really call it a vignette, so a segment of just her kind of in a video package. I felt that was pretty good. I feel like they're really trying to build her up. Finally.
I would have been better if the video package wasn't AI slop. It wasn't even real.
Well, obviously, WWE's been using AI to make matches, so why not?
El Cheapos, anyway. Roman, Jacob, get it on. He gives him some sort of submission move.
Yeah,
chokes him out, basically.
Kind of like a weird Samoan manimal claw.
And guess what? Fatu makes his way up the ramp. Roman, finally half out of breath, accepts.
Yes.
So we have some family matters at Backlash.
So, me and our wonderful friends Steph and Sam, who did have their baby on Saturday, so shout out to them. I got to hold her yesterday for an hour. It was fantastic.
Welcome to the world, Lily.
Brought up, what if... I forget where I was going now. Jeez. Lost my train of thought.
Do you want me to move on? What do you think?
Yeah.
So NXT
completely left my mind. I brought up a baby and it disappeared.
So NXT, I will say this was not your normal episode of NXT. This was officially a rebranding, so to speak.
100%.
This was them resetting. And you know what? They did a great job. If this was the way you were going to attack it, I'm good with it. So you start off with Miles Bourne and Saquon Sugars. Pretty good back and forth match. Both men are talented.
Yeah.
But you had Saquon Sugars kind of being cost by his own teammate.
I mean, they have for the last few weeks.
Yeah. So Miles gets the win. But then you had this guy, Tristan Angels from England, show up.
I've never heard of him, but I am intrigued.
He said his piece.
He kind of reminds me of a different Christopher Daniels, and I don't know because he was what, the Dark Angel or the something with Angel. If I remember, it's been a while.
Now, obviously Miles gets attacked. Yes. He gets attacked by none other than a man that we recognize because he is married to Maxine Dupree.
Really? Cam Patrick?
That is her man.
Oh.
Making his NXT debut.
I did not know that, so I'm learning it possibly with some of you people. So that's cool. It's a good little tidbit there. Nice to pull that out of the archive. Yep. So that's awesome. By the way, so next one, Tony D, who has fire entrance music, comes out to talk about this said box that got handed to him last week in NXT. It had some Japanese whatever on it. And the lights dim. Got a little spooky. We had some music hit, and I gotta say, said music was actually pretty good. Who showed up?
Then we have the debut of Io Sky's man, Evil, but he's gonna have a different name in NXT.
Yeah, Rejo.
We don't know for sure, but it could be.
They did file. Obviously, we'll hit on that next week because I'm sure we'll hear about it and they'll change his name.
But it was I thought it was a great introduction. The fans knew who he was,
which is great.
That is a great sign because I heard them chanting "Evil, Evil."
He's from New Japan, right?
Correct.
That's what I thought.
Then,
by the way, you're gonna get to Tavion, which when he came out, I didn't even recognize the guy.
Yeah, I didn't either.
With the I guess you want to call them cornrows, whatever. With instead of the kind of the afro hair is kind of different. I'm like, for a second I was like, who is that? I thought it was somebody new, but it was Tavion.
So Tavion attacks Tony D. And then we have what some people thought was a fan doing a moonsault on them. And what a wonderful surprise this was. Anybody who has followed Progress Wrestling or anything out there on the indie scene, that is none other than Will Cruz, the most talented super heavyweight in the world, as he deems himself. And this man, do not let the size fool you. Do not let the chubbiness fool you. He is as agile as Rey Mysterio in that ring.
So, like Bronson Reed.
More.
Oh.
He is more agile than Bronson Reed could ever hope to be.
Nice.
So it is interesting to see him. They gave him a bit of different look. Usually he has long hair. So they made him cut his hair. I was really intrigued by that. I know there was a lot of speculation on who that was. I think Vic Joseph even said, "Oh, is that a fan?" No,
yeah.
No, put some respect on his name. That is Will Cruz, and you will see more of him.
We had a segment with
boy.
Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley was just chilling out in a cemetery with good old Shiloh, which, if anybody hasn't been watching NXT, they have been pushing Shiloh a lot.
Very hard.
Guy deserves it for one. He is, I feel, he kind of reminds me of somebody that should be in the group with Hank and Tank, but that's not here nor there. But anyway, I thought it was great. They were sitting out by a grave for Blake Monroe.
Which we know Blake Monroe is making her way to where?
Raw? SmackDown.
I don't know.
Okay, cool. That's great.
I'm fairly certain.
I want to say SmackDown.
Yeah, I want to say it's SmackDown as well. Because I remember, yeah, it is SmackDown. She's going to SmackDown. And that's exciting because obviously her time was up in NXT. We all saw that coming. And then if any of you are watching on social media, Tatum said, "How are you posting from the grave?"
Yes.
Which we all thought was very funny.
Yes. It was great.
Just kind of love everything that they're doing with Tatum Paxley right now. And
Yeah,
honestly, Blake Monroe
great
elevates
stuff.
everyone.
Great stuff.
Then we have Birthright Stacks and Connors versus EK Prosper, Sean Legacy.
Wait.
Yeah.
You do have to put some respect on our Speed Champion's name. Right?
Lexus King?
Yeah.
Yeah, you love Brian Pillman Jr.
No, I do not. But, so, I feel like we've kind of been critical. I personally actually feel like they might actually be doing something.
Yeah.
With this group. I actually am intrigued. I'm interested. I'm bought in. Hopefully they know where they're going with this said group. I feel like it is a different group. Obviously, they're all second gen, or
all of them, with the exception of Stacks, are second gen.
Okay.
Stacks is just dating
okay.
Ariana Grace.
But anyway, but I do feel like
it's a good
they're
group, though.
doing something with this group.
So, in case you don't know, I'll break it down for you. Clark Connors, Fit Finley's son. Okay.
Yep.
Then you have Ariana Grace, Santino Morella's daughter. Then Mr. Stacks is dating Ariana Grace. I think they're even engaged. They might soon get married. I don't know that deal. And then we all know the Brian Pillman line there with Lexus King. So yeah.
Then you got the guy that was in No Quarter Catch Crew.
Oh yes, William Regal's son. Also, very good. Somehow he lost his whole group, and we still call Ren QCC, which is weird. But we'll get on that another day.
Yeah, they did have Ren had a match, but we'll
we'll get there.
Actually, let's just jump into that one.
Okay.
We'll skip a little bit. So Kaylani versus Ren. Kaylani won, but I felt like it was a good match.
Was a good match, and they used the injury angle out for.
They did. What? So was
For
it
Ren.
an actually injury angle?
I don't know for sure. It could have been real. I will say they can't do any wrong when it comes to Kendall Gray. I'm telling you, she's the next big superstar. I can't be any higher on anybody. Push her to the moon and let her fly.
All right. So we had my girl Lola call out Izzy Dame.
There's a video on the screen.
Right. It started out with, again, I feel like the person that is holding back Izzy Dame. Like, Sean Spears started this whole segment with Lola. Why? I don't understand. And then you had Izzy Dame and Nico
Show up behind her.
in the ring.
And then who came to the rescue?
Drawing a blank here. You'll have to help me out.
Mr. Iguana and Yeska.
You're right. You're right. I remember that now.
They showed up, saved the day.
By the way, that crowd popped.
Mr. Iguana is extremely popular. If they put him on regular programming, he would be top 5 in merch sales easily.
We had a new debut in NXT.
This one here is the next one I am super high on. I've seen the videos. I went and watched more about her. I am all aboard on the Lizzie Rain debut train. She went against Nikita Lyons, who we haven't seen in forever. And she is back to take an L.
Heel topper above us coming out right here.
Yeah.
I disagree with you. I didn't like it. I wasn't interested. Sorry. I thought the entrance music was obnoxious.
I loved it.
I thought the persona, I wasn't into it. I actually was excited for this. When they said a heavy metal rocker chick, I'm excited. I wasn't into it. And then you put her with Nikita, who I actually thought Nikita looked better than her. So, I'm sorry I'm gonna rain on your parade a little bit, but I didn't like it. I hope you're right, because I feel like if she could be big, it could be a big ticket seller. But me personally, I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. Now, yes, have I changed opinions on multiple people? Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Could this be one of them? Of course. But as of right now, I didn't care for it.
All I gotta say is that finisher was fire.
Now that I will give you. Thunderstruck will give you that. It was awesome.
And Nikita sold it so well.
It was great.
That honestly was some of Nikita's best work, if I'm being honest.
And I can agree with you on that too.
Let's move on to the very end here. We got Ricky Saints versus Shiloh. This was Ricky Swan's song on NXT. He did a big long speech after it went off the air. Said his goodbyes. Wonderful.
I'll miss Ricky Saints in NXT. Obviously, he's moving up to bigger and better things. And as I hit one earlier, I feel like NXT has weirdly uncovered a rock that was dull and has made it shiny. Somehow they've struck a little bit of gold, possibly, with this guy Shiloh.
Very, very popular with the crowd.
I am interested in seeing him every week. It's a weird mixture between him and Tatum. It's like,
and it's working.
It's like ice cream and corn. They don't go well together, but they mesh. Yeah. I don't know how.
It's very interesting.
So Shiloh is the next big up and comer. Obviously, with all these, you lost Ethan Page, you lost Ricky Saints.
We really need to watch out for Keanu Carver.
I 100% agree with you. I think Keanu is the next big thing. I'm going to go out on a limb here, make a very bold statement. I think the guy has the potential to be the next Obafemi of NXT.
Okay. I don't hate it because the talent is there, so we'll see. I really hope.
It's just whether how they push him.
I hope he can connect with the fans. I think that's what's going to be the holdback.
I agree with you. I feel like they have used him pretty decently well so far. But yes, I agree with you. It will be the fans, and I feel like the entrance, the music is decent. It might need a little bit of tweaking, but the potential is definitely there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens.
Where, I've been saying about Jasper Troy, I feel like
she's got a big match next week, and hopefully they can really get him rolling.
And I'm going to continue to say, as a creative person, Jasper Troy is the missing link for Dark State.
I don't know if they'll ever do that, though.
But I feel like they need somebody that is the main person of that stable. Because obviously you got Deion Lennox, but obviously Deion Lennox is kind of making everything fall apart at this point.
Yeah.
Or seem to be falling apart.
I think that group is in a little bit of a turmoil. You could possibly introduce him to maybe glue it all together. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jury's out.
I mean, we obviously have this group that is still around. They came from Evolve.
Oh, the Vanity Project.
Yeah. Not real into them. They kind of give me pretty deadly vibes. Just, I don't know. They just aren't interesting. I actually thought they had something cooking with them and Blake.
But then they had to take her. So
and then it disappeared.
So we'll see. I'm intrigued. I think there's a lot going on. I think, as always, let's be honest, the most consistent show is always NXT.
Facts.
And
this was even probably their down week, to be honest. Because you had all this new blood coming in, trying to introduce us. And
they were trying to get as many new looks as they could and create as many new storylines as possible, which we saw we also saw back stage segment with the Armstrong girl.
Yes, Callie.
And my girl Jada Parker.
Yep.
Which
I think it could be a fire
match.
Yes. Storyline.
They're setting up a lot of stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what they do.
So, with Blake gone, Soul gone, obviously you're going to need some people to fill that gap. I think it is time now to fully push Jada Parker.
Yes.
It's fully time. Let her go.
Because
you've already pushed Kaylani. And Kaylani is, she's good. Jada Parker needs that push. And obviously, I feel like they're going to push Callie Armstrong.
Which is fine, but I am worried maybe too fast of a push. I don't know if she's going to have the fanfare for them to give her a you-know-what. So we'll see. I am really looking forward to what Jada Parker can do in this new landscape. I love Jada Parker so much.
Great. So, yeah, we, hopefully we got a semi-permanent setup here. Got a new background, which we love. So hopefully this will be the permanent kind of inside the squared circle segment setup. And, yeah, so I think it's pretty close to that time.
Yeah, so Backlash is not this weekend, but it's the following weekend.
It is.
We will be doing a prediction video, shouting out a lot because there's a lot of stuff coming up. We're really looking forward to it.
You have what that weekend?
Tattoo Convention, Inked and Amped in York, Pennsylvania. Check it out. It's going to be awesome. Mothers get in free on Sunday. What a Mother's Day gift.
What's that guy's name that runs this whole thing?
Oh, that would be Chris Potts, my dad.
Guess he's an alright
And
guy.
shout out to Dawn Bosley, who is also running it as well, my dad.
So, where's that at?
York Fairgrounds.
Okay.
York, Pennsylvania.
All right. Cool. We are headed into May, and
it's gonna be May already.
A lot of peelies, yes. Wow. Yeah.
It's a busy month.
It's not a great month for me, but we're going to make it a great month.
We all have our history with this month, and we're going to make it the best we can.
So we got to, of course, start out with the most important shout out.
T-shirt Tony. Funny Part Apparel Company, the official apparel maker of the Critical Conversation Bros.
Check them out. Obviously, the other big shout out is obviously all of you guys, the supporters, the people that watch our videos, interact. Thank you as always.
And no more gambling pictures in the background, because we got shadow banned on those videos and they did not do us any favors.
Yeah, we learned some stuff about that for sure.
Yeah.
So, hey, even though it was a great background, I thought, but yeah, shout out to your boys are gonna be in a wiffle ball tournament. Yes. Where?
At Myers Meadows. Best wiffle ball around. Shout out to John and Tom Turnbull. Great guys.
We need to bring that chip home to the cave.
Yeah, we can't go there with our flag up high and not win. Gotta win.
For sure. We gotta hit some dingers over said flag.
We'll hit some dingers.
All right. Shout out again to Sam and Steph, who had a daughter.
Yeah, shout out to the baby.
And I'm going to a soccer game on Saturday. So
you're going to a football game.
Football.
There you go. Shout out to Ryan, 118.
He does the football.
And wrestling.
Mainly football.
Yeah. Good guy, though.
He's from across the pond.
Yep. We missed an all shout out to the Looney Goons production squad.
Who's that?
Patrick Stunner.
Oh yeah, that RJ Barrett guy.
Yeah. Good guy.
RJ Batten, sorry, jeez. I said a NBA player. My bad.
But we have been seeing the video. RJ. We've been seeing the videos on TikTok.
Yeah, for sure we have.
Anybody else we're missing? Oh, who's going with us on Friday? Because we're going to a wrestling event.
Shannon and Dave!
And you were just at an event not long ago. What event was that?
Hagerstown? No? Yeah?
Yeah, you went without me?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Hagerstown.
What'd you do?
I saw Hacksaw.
Ho!
By the way, I'm gonna... That thing over there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually getting a meet and greet with Carlito. And I'm gonna get him to sign that. Because that's cool.
Yeah. We're looking forward to that. It's Double Barrel Saloon, ACW, in Redline.
I think it's Double Barrel.
It's Double Barrel Saloon, eh?
No. Double Barrel Roadhouse.
Double Barrel Roadhouse. I don't know why I said saloon. Anyway, doesn't matter.
We're gonna try out a new restaurant in our area called Slimmed Chickens.
Must be some skinny chicken getting sold. We'll see.
I've heard some comments that it's better than the Chick-fil-A.
We'll see. We'll be the judge of that. Shout out to Tony LaFianzo. He's going to a lot of wrestling events. Seen some people from ACW and stuff. Hopefully we see you there.
Yes.
Shout out to Dan the Rocket Man.
Dan the Rocket Man. Hopefully you move into your house soon.
Hopefully.
Shout out to good old pal Chris. Hopefully you start your new job in like 2 weeks, and hopefully you enjoy it a little better.
Shout out to Marky Mark.
Yeah, the cave is a little empty.
Yeah.
But by the grace of his wonderfulness and the grace of me having a job, I was able to keep said monitors so we could keep going.
There we go. On that note, make sure you guys continue to stay active, like, follow, subscribe, all that good jazz. That way, we can grow, you can grow, and we can all have a good time.
Yep. Starting to put out some more shorts. Hopefully we'll continue. And I would like to continue.
Shorts get good views.
Would like to continue the plan of possibly either going live before PLEs or after PLEs, which would be great. long as schedules work.
Yeah, we're gonna make something work.
Yeah. So.
But on that note, we appreciate you guys. Have a great, safe weekend.
Yes. Hopefully it's nice. So.
Hopefully.
Looking forward to tomorrow's Friday. Thank you.
Bring it on.
So. Peace out.
Peace out. Thank you guys.
And maybe your Phillies will actually start winning.
At least my Flyers did.
Ah.